Okay, here we are again. The sad part, this story is in relations to the shooting victim, Walter Scott, who was shot by a South Carolina police officer because he had a warrant out for child support. And so, as they interviewed the guy who filmed the shooting, he said that Walter Scott was being tased, and all he was trying to do was get away because he had just got a job. And the officer took his gun out, and clearly you can see the man is running away. But the officer shot him 8 times, and then looked around, and then walked into a dead body, put handcuffs on him. So here is my problem. My problem is with the system. These issues should have been fixed a long time ago. And that started with Trayvon Martin. After Trayvon Martin and his killer got off with the jury finding him not guilty, it seemed like it was open season on black men. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand we can be detrimental to ourselves as well when we rob and kill and steal our own. But to use our men and boys for open hunting season and nobody see anything wrong with that. And then I looked last night and see that um, somebody had a animal shelter and they found multiple dogs in one cage, and that was a big story in comparison to a human life. I really have a problem with that, and I'm not saying it's not, right to do anything to an animal, but when are we going to start to elevate the importance of a life, a human life? And where will fairness come into play when it comes down to wrongdoing? Tamar, who was a child that was gunned down. Mike Brown in Ferguson, who was gunned down. Don't you see the pattern that keeps on going continuously? And when voting time comes up, you negate to remember these things in our different communities. And when your elected officials and your aldermen and your state reps don't step up to the plate and make their voices heard on the behalf of you, that poses a problem. There are many activists out here. I just think it should be across the board. But see, when the incident happens, it is heightened awareness. It is talked about. But after a certain time, it just continues to die. And we cannot continue to let it to die. We need to petition. We need to write. We need to call. We need to continue to have a domino effect until something changes. Because Black lives do matter. They really do. I don't care what nobody think. I don't care how racist you are, how do you don't like, or what do you think is wrong, or you assume that their background, whatever it may be. Nobody has a right to take anybody's life. And because you wear a uniform with a badge does not give you that right. You can't bridge a gap when you study creating cracks in that gap. The voices need to be made heard and not just, it broke my heart to see that mother on TV crying about her son because he was gunned down, seriously gunned down. And it takes my mind back to the slavery days when, you just catch these men and just hang them on the trees. Will we ever get it? Will we ever see a need for change? Or this is just okay. We just go along with the problem. So what? You've been killed. The reports are not being reported, and I think that's unfair. If police are doing something illegally, they stuff need to be made aware too. Bottom line, the system is broken and it needs to be fixed. Enough is too many black men, too many are losing their life because somebody feel like it's their authority and their power to take it. And nobody has an authority to take anybody's life unless you try to defend yours. And that ain't been the case. It needs to cease.